What's going on, everybody? Donnie here with another video, and today the Islanders have fired their head coach Jack Capuano after a couple years, especially good last year when they won their first playoff series in 20 years, which is kind of insane that now they are officially without a good, a real coach. They have Doug Wade as their head coach now. He's their assistant general manager, and I think it's kind of ridiculous to be firing Jack Capuano at this point, especially because the front office just did him in, basically. They practically did him in with all the moves and all the mediocrity associated with being on the Islanders right now. I mean, when your second highest scorer is Josh Bailey, as I know many Islanders fans don't like Josh Bailey in the slightest. They really dislike the guy, which is understandable. Obviously, you're not going to like every player on your team. But when you're getting rid of high-scoring young talent such as Kyle Okposo and Franz Nielsen, you have to replace them with something, and replacing them with a 8 goals, 8 assists Chimera and 8 goals, 4 assists Andrew Ladd, while paying Andrew Ladd $5.5 million for the next 7 years, just a tad bit ridiculous to me. And I mean, obviously scoring production is going down, and they chose to fire Capuano because the team is lacking a direction and lacking wins. They're not winning games like that. But I mean, they just went on. If they were on a 3-game win streak, that they beat Boston, Buffalo, Washington, lost to Minnesota, beat Winnipeg on the road, lost to Colorado, Arizona in overtime on the road, lost to Florida, and then beat Florida the next night, lost to Carolina, and just beat Boston 4-0 to move up to 17-17-8, which is 500. They've been below 500 for the majority of the year, so they're finally hitting a decent stretch to where they can compete with pretty much every team. If you could beat Boston, they beat the Rangers earlier this year, they beat St. Louis, they beat Washington, they beat Pittsburgh. So they've shown they can beat teams. But why would you fire your coach after a generally successful road? I mean, they just played 7 of the last 8 games on the road. They came up with points in 5 of those games, which is pretty good. Five games with points out of 7 games on the road. It's pretty spectacular, I'd say. And Thomas Greiss is playing his best hockey of the year now. He's played the last 7 games, I think, which is another reason why they've been successful, because Halak played well, but not well enough to really do anything. I mean, it's a very mediocre performances from Halak. And now he's injured in Bridgeport, so that says something. So I think, really, Garth Snow should have been the one that was looked at before they made the move on Capuano. I think Ledecky and the ownership should have really sat down and thought about what they have, because Garth Snow is not the greatest GM in the world. I mean, he's let go Matt Martin, who had 10 goals last year, and he's a good enforcer, good fourth line. The Islanders had one of the better fourth lines in the league last year. Didn't take up the Hamonic for Hall trade, which was, that's a train wreck for the Islanders, obviously, because they could use Taylor Hall playing with JT up front. And let go 2 of their top 3 scorers in Okposo and Nielsen in the offseason, and then replace them with nothing, basically. I mean, you can get production out of basically anybody. You can get basically anybody to come in, score 8 goals and 4 assists. You could have done that for much cheaper than you signed Andrew Ladd. So, yeah, I definitely think firing Capuano at this point was a bad idea. They should have just rode the season out with him. If the season ends up like crap, if they end up shitting the bed, I mean, I understand it at that point. And Garth Snow will probably be gone too. But I think definitely Capuano deserved the rest of the season to really prove what he was about, because this team is 8 points out of the playoffs, and hey, they're close enough. Just 4 games, that's all you need. So, yeah, this is Donnie. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you don't subscribe right now, and I will talk to you all later. Girls these days